Mamdani mania is sweeping across our nation. Americans have a right to be worried about this charismatic communist with a $1 million smile, who, if elected as the next mayor of New York City, could be the tipping point for the United States.
We can establish community land trusts to gradually buy up housing on the private market and convert it to community ownership. We can give tenants a right of first refusal to buy out their landlords when buildings go up for sale. And we can fully commit to a new era of social housing, ending subsidies for luxury housing development and using our wealth to build beautiful, high-quality social housing projects that offer good homes and strong communities to everyone. We won't decommodify housing overnight, but we know what we have to do, and we have history to guide us.
Yep, the 33-year-old Nepo baby is proposing a plan that would buy up private housing throughout the city and then convert the properties into Soviet-style communes. And if you think that sounds scary, Zohran Mamdani has openly stated he wants wealth distribution, the defunding of police, and says we should give criminals homes instead of jail time.
Fiscally, if we're talking about the fiscal cost, it costs New York City more than $500,000 a year to incarcerate someone on Rikers, and to put someone in a year of supportive housing, it's about $50,000 a year, right? There is no.
You put him in a penthouse for that kind of price.
That's an incredible amount of money.
I feel like I wouldn't do any crimes if I was in a penthouse.
If you had $500,000, it's a lot of money.
If give me the $500,000, I'm not doing crimes. How about we do that? Give criminals $500,000. Is that a good policy?
I'm gonna wait for you to run for mayor to propose that.
Yeah.
How is this a serious conversation? This is frightening. The destruction of New York City would metastasize throughout this nation, and it's why Mamdani, he can't win for the sake of this country. And reportedly, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she's clearly, obviously worried as well. She's mulling whether to use her powers to investigate Mamdani as a, quote, danger to New York City. She reportedly said, quote, the Department of Homeland Security has authorities that have never been utilized before, and I'm going to need some good minds on how to use those authorities. Now, Mamdani, he also wants open borders. I mean, look at him right there. He acted like a rabid dog when border czar Tom Homan came to New York. I mean, if elected, Mamdani has also promised to stop ICE agents from doing their job, prompting President Trump to issue this warning.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation.
The latest poll by American Pulse, it shows Mamdani in the lead to win. But as much of a threat Mamdani is to this country, as horrific as his win would be, no one should be threatening him with an investigation or deportation. I mean, taking away his American citizenship. Never forget, we have to remember the lawfare used against President Trump when it became apparent that he could win the White House again. He became the front runner, and so they went after him. The Democrats did everything they could to try and stop Trump, but all it did was galvanize his supporters. And just because Mamdani could win Gracie Mansion doesn't mean our immigration system then should be weaponized against him. Yes, Mamdani he's clearly a radical. He's a communist. He's Muslim. He's foreign-born. But he became an American citizen in 2018. So when you talk about deporting him, you actually are making him into a martyr, and it will backfire. Already, the media and other Democrat leaders they're now starting to really coalesce around him. They're portraying him as some sort of social justice warrior. Don't fall for this. All of this is just another trap. All we have to do is continue to let the truth come out about this manufactured candidate whose campaign is as fake as his changing accents. I think this guy can be beaten fair and square in the election booth. And if New York City voters, if they still choose him, well, maybe this is what needs to happen. Maybe this is the only way the left will learn. The once greatest city has to fall.
You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.